Snow called me Sleepy sometimes. Yeah, if he didn't call me Weto, which means Whitey, he called me Sleepy. He said, "Come on, Sleepy, it's time to go."
Come on, Sleepy. And you're like, I'm trying to get through this, and I need to find out what happens to Dumbledore.
I told him all about Dumbledore. That was when we were walking around the track. Like, it reminded me of
Kyle,
that.
I really like you, man, but that's fucking gay.
He wanted to know. He was like, "What? Tell me about that little Harry Potter guy." But so I'd tell him about that, and then he'd tell me it was like Harry Potter. She taught me how to read and write, and I taught her how to hang and or how to dangle or whatever the fuck. Like I'd tell him about fucking Harry Potter, and he'd tell me about that drug deal that went bad.
He's like, and so then one time I was there with the coke, right? And then this guy, he comes out, he's swinging at me, and so I pop. Anyway, Kyle, what's the deal with like the big guy in the woods?
Hagrid? Oh, Hagrid's the best. He's got this big fucking monster named Buckbeak. It's like, I don't know, half lion and half owl or something like that. They ride around on it. Nobody can ride it but Harry. And that
man, I love your whimsical knowledge, Kyle. It makes me feel like I'm not locked up for being incredibly violent.
They told him one day that he was like, turns out they say that I'm a threat to society. So, like, they literally designated him a threat to society.
I would love to see, like, turns out I'm a threat to society. I think I'd be like a Slytherin.
I think I'm like that Voldemort guy, Kyle. Don't say that, Snow.
I tried to argue with the parole board, but it turns out even they had me convinced by the end. Because I told them I'd stab you. If you don't let me out of here, I'm going to molest you and stab you in the face.
No, he didn't like to stab.
He was a stabber, not a stabby.
No, he was a shooter.
Absolutely.
Who has
I want
a
to
lot
see
of
a reality show.
hatred.
A reality show with like 10 of these mass shooters that we've imprisoned, and they're competing for their freedom, right? It's called Shoot Your Shot.
And it's got, who's the host?
And at the
Aziz Ansari.
Is John Walsh still alive? The guy from, his son went missing. Adam Walsh went missing in the early 90s. They came with he had the TV show America's Most Wanted. Because the surprise is gonna be a twist at the end of the show.
What about John Benet Ramsey's parents?
Oh, them good people. So at the end, at the end when we the guy wins and they're like, "Oh, you ready for your freedom?" It's like, "Yeah, I can't wait." Well, fuck you, we lied, and we kill him. That's the whole show, and we do that every year. And they don't know it any different because they're prisoners. They don't get the show. It's on HBO.
The elimination round is there on the other side of the equation, and someone comes in with a gun, and sorry, you were eliminated by the.
Oh, you hit the mass
simulation.
shooting box. Now Dave's gonna come in and mass shoot you.
The Sandy Hook kid didn't finish his bowl of roaches, so so we're gonna execute him.
All right, I'm
that's
getting
a
down
good
with this.
show idea.
We should make Alex Jones be the host and not pay him a dime. That's his punishment.
That's his punishment, is he has to Bob Barker it up with these horrid people.
Then we'll be square.
Yeah, then we'll be square.
I went to Hofstadter's comedy show, and the impressive thing to me was how he opened the show and closed it, by the way. And he trained the crowd to be a good crowd. He told people how lame it is to be a bad crowd and how you should just laugh and quiet and enjoy the show. And you're laughing, right? I fell for it. I was like, damn, all right. I'm going to be the best crowd he's had this year.
We had this one guy in here who didn't laugh all the time. What we did? We killed him. Just bear that in mind as I tell these jokes.
Yeah, only rapists and pedophiles interrupt comedy shows, folks. Behaving that way after he says it has the same do you remember being in church or a school assembly and the teachers in grade school would be like, I need 5 strong boys to come over here and move the chairs, and I'd always be like, knuckle crack on the. It's time for me to be tricked into collecting dozens.
Would you believe they try to pull the same shit in prison?
Really?
This cunt of an administrator gathers everybody up, and she's like, they did it twice in a row, back to back, and I caught it both times and knew what was going on. And frankly, I didn't feel like most people did. She's like, first, the choir director has a little announcement that she needs 3 more beautifully voiced gentlemen to to join. And keep in mind, there's a lot of perks and privileges when you're in the choir. You're going to be singing for the Bureau of Prisons, and of course, you get the fried chicken, fricassee at the end of the year. By the way, that's why everybody was in there, because of the fried chicken like dinner that was coming. It didn't happen.
Oh,
it didn't happen. They didn't. It came time. They sang. We all gathered. The choir sang. My boy, Snow, he was in the choir up there fucking singing, looking covered, all tatted the fuck up, and he's fucking
like an angel.
Sweet Caroline, Bureau prisoners, got old white guys like, you got these boys trained good. And no fried chicken. He came back. I was like, did you get your chicken? He's like, you man. He didn't have nothing up there. It was either fried chicken or a pizza party. It was one or the other for all these grown men to show up and like sing every week for months on end, apparently. But then she was also she called for volunteers to go make sandwiches for the fucking like real prison up the hill, the medium. Mm-hmm. Like they're locked down because they can't behave themselves. My buddy goes, somebody got stabbed in the throat. And I'm like, fuck, she made it sound like somebody like farted out loud. Did he die? Nah, I got him in the infirmary. Everybody else is locked down. So they're going to be in their cells for a little while. So we need some guys to make sack lunches. Don't raise your hand. You're gonna be making PB&J and shoving it in slots for hours. He's like giving me the real deal, and that's what it was. And that they wanted me to do it, and I had the excuse that I didn't have my medical check because I always avoided that medical check and wouldn't show up for it because I knew if you were medically checked, you could work. So I didn't get medically checked.
You think work would have made the time pass?
I know. I had my Harry Potter and I had the Martian. Had Stephen King.
It depends on the work. If it was automotive repair and stuff like that, it might be what I would find an interesting way to spend the day.
That's what my boy said. My cellmate, my original cellmate, the younger Mexican-ish guy, he had 2, maybe 3 jobs on some days, and it was car repair. I think he did oil changes and spark plugs and shit like that up there. But I just really found it effective. If I was going to be spending years there, sure, but for just killing a month, I just wanted to like sleep and read and watch TV because those things make time pass so fast. You could wake up and half a day's gone.
You're definitely right, but
take your sentence away.
I only have so many of them. Like let's say you're going to read for 6 hours. I have 3 of those in a week, probably.
Oh no, I'd read for 6 or 8 hours, and I would get up and like break that monotony with like going outside or just going to watch 30 minutes of TV or something, or eating maybe. And then just go right back to it. Or go to sleep. Just read, then sleep, read, then sleep. I slept a lot.
Did people ever wonder?
Snow called me Sleepy sometimes. Yeah, if he didn't call me Weto, which means Whitey, he called me Sleepy. He said, come on, Sleepy, it's time to go.
And you're like, I'm trying to get through this, and I need to find out what happens to Dumbledore.
I told him all about Dumbledore. That was when we were walking around the track. Like,
man, Kyle, I really like you, man, but that's fucking gay.
He wanted to know. He was like, "What? Tell me about that little Harry Potter guy." But so I'd tell him about that, and then he'd tell me it was like Harry Potter. She taught me how to read and write. Is being ugly the worst minority to be a part of?
100%. Well, dwarves,
like truly ugly, like this guy. No, not dwarves. They have like an easy door into the entertainment industry, right? Almost as good as
other dwarves. Oh, but they prefer little people. You've got me going now.
No, yeah, but I prefer dwarves.
Wait, dwarf
midget is like what they don't like.
I think you're right.
Dwarf is like a correct thing, but a dwarf is a different kind. Being picked up,
being picked up and shaken. They really hate it when you and your friend try to guess how much they weigh for money, and they're not a willing participant. I don't know, man. 57.
The government will never tell you this, but all those midgets you see outside, they're free.
Yeah. You just take them home. I found that what little people really, really hate is when I assume they're 6 years old, regardless of their real age. I get them little stuffed animals and everything, totally unappreciated.
I would love to have
a tough
midget
group to
friend.
be in.
Do you think if you had like a midget friend, I think that's a cool friend to have because he could help you out with a lot of stuff. It'd be fun to try to get him laid for one thing. It'd be like, you know, I feel like that's easier to get done than an ugly person as well. That's another reason why I'm saying easier to be
He's
a little person.
Dwarf.
It's a bucket list item.
Yeah, like the gentleman who played Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones, whose name I'm spacing on right now,
Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage.
He's changed that name, man. Dinklage. Like, come on, you're already.
Am I right?
Anyway,
Though? It's Dinklage.
yeah, I mean, he's a handsome-ish fellow.
Yeah.
And the little person from Seinfeld, even the guy with the beard, who was heightening to like keep up with the kid that he like body doubled for. Handsome fella too.
But then there's like Vern Troyer, Mini-Me, which is
he had a sad life. I knew his what do you call it, management really well.
His owner.
No, his management really well. It was also Dan Bilzerian's management. So we sort of rubbed elbows a little bit, and I was gonna do a thing with Vern Troyer on my channel, but we couldn't find anything that I was like, yeah, well, let's get him a little gun. And they were like, you don't understand. He's handicapped and he's addicted to alcohol. And he's rarely like with it enough to have a conversation. And it's like, oh, okay, well, we can't find him just a little gun. That's not the problem then. Because it's like, I thought his little hands were the problem, but the problem was like he was a tremendous alcoholic. And it doesn't take a lot of vodka to get you fucked up when you're that little, right? And,
I wouldn't imagine so.
And also, like, he had a lot of health problems. Yeah, he didn't. He died not too long after that. And poor little guy. I was such a big fan when I was in middle school. We were all doing that accent. Actually, that movie hadn't come out yet. I guess it was like early high school, like the Austin Powers 2.
But I'd much rather be a little person than someone who's on the extreme level of ugly like that guy. Have we shown his picture? Yeah, we did because we saw it.
Yeah.
Gus? Wait, that's not a light switch. Wait, no, I really am all wet.
Jerry Palace. Well, we may as well follow it up. These